Hi, I'm Yegi. I'm an entrepreneur and success coach who wants it all. Family, luxury, career, and the freedom to do whatever I want, whenever I want. And I'll do whatever it takes to get there. I created the Yegi Project to document my journey and inspire others to do the same. My mission is to change the world by influencing and leading others to do what they love and live fulfilled lives. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Yegi Project. Today's episode's a little bit out of the norm for me, but my idea was sparked after listening to the School of Greatness podcast while he was interviewing Rhonda Byrne, and she is the author of The Secret. Most people know her from the Secret documentary and the book and the Law of Attraction movement, okay? So if you don't know her, check her out. But basically, they are talking on this podcast about how to apply the law of attraction and how to really manifest to get what you want. And they did mention the hard part about trying to manifest to getting pregnant. It is such a sensitive topic, and it is so hard for so many people to achieve that want or need of becoming a parent or becoming pregnant. And I personally know so many women struggling with this issue. I was like, hold on, let's do a full-on video of exactly what I would do if I was having trouble getting pregnant in order to apply the law of attraction and take in all the advice, everything I've learned from great people like Lewis from the School of Greatness and from Rhonda Byrne from The Secret. So you may have stumbled upon this episode because you are having a hard time getting pregnant. Like I said, I am going to focus on what I would personally do to apply the law of attraction from The Secret and from all the information out there with trying to attract, visualize, and do all that stuff to get pregnant. So I'm going to be very specific of what I would do. This is not medical advice, and if you are seeking medical help, please follow your medical doctor's advice. And I would personally maybe tie both of these things together, but I will definitely do this as part of my practice. So before we get into the details of how to get pregnant using the law of attraction, in general, what is the law of attraction? So basically what it states is that the law of attraction is a universal law that we basically attract what we really want or what we really think about, but it's kind of hard to, it's so simple, but sometimes it's so hard to understand. So I had to kind of like listen to a lot of Q&As and a lot of information to break it down for myself to see how I would apply it for this specific issue. How would I apply it if I am not able to get pregnant? So within the law of attraction, what we have also learned is that anything that we really, really want, sometimes we put resistance towards getting it. Have you guys noticed if literally there's something we really care about, even if it's like an expensive shirt, it ends up getting ruined so easily because we're being so careful with it compared to maybe like everyday shirt that we never even think about and nothing will ever happen to it. So it's kind of one of those universal law things is that we put resistance against something that we really, really want, or when something is causing a lot of heartache or disappointment, stuff like getting pregnant, something that's super sensitive, can really put a lot of resistance with it. So what actually Rhonda explains briefly in her interview is that when people are focused on visualizing of being pregnant in order to get pregnant, sometimes that doesn't work. Or people have asked her, oh, why does this not work? I'm visualizing it. I see myself pregnant and it's just not happening, right? So that's what she explained. She said, instead of visualizing being pregnant, you have to visualize actually holding the baby or feeling the baby, of getting that positive emotions of your end results. So the end goal is not being pregnant. The end goal is having the baby. So that's where I would start. So this is where my idea was sparked. I was like, okay, well, what else can I do specifically if I'm trying to get pregnant, but I'm not able to, right? Now, even if I personally had medical issues and I had some hardships with pregnancies, and I'll share those stories later. And I think I subconsciously, or actually I did apply the law of attraction to it, and everything, thank God, has turned out okay for me. So I do genuinely believe it from my own personal experience, and I'll share that story in a little bit. But what she explains is, now we have to be able to act as if we already had the baby. So if it's being home more because you have to take care of the baby, if it's cleaning at your house to make a nursery room, buying the crib, setting it up. So these are all the things that I would do. Although it may be kind of torturesome if you're having a really hard time getting pregnant to set up a whole room for the baby. This is how the law of attraction works. And honestly, this could sound really crazy for some people. Some people would never give this a try. But honestly, I've been in desperate situations where I really want things, and I think this is worth a try. And we don't want to think about, what if I'm going to jinx it? So this is also how the law of attraction works. Any thought that we have, generally, or believe, it is going to manifest. So we don't want to think that, hey, by setting up the room, I'm going to jinx it. That's not true. It doesn't work that way. But if you believe that, then it might be that way. So be very careful with what you think. And again, this is the law of attraction. And like I said, if you guys are more curious about the details of how it works in all different areas of life, definitely watch the documentary The Secret or read the book The Secret. She explains it in great detail. This is how we are applying it to pregnancy, right? We're not saying we're going to jinx it by setting up a room. We're not saying we're going to jinx it by really telling people, hey, I'm going to have a baby. And we're really trying to visualize of being a mother, for example. So in this case, this is what else I would do. I would set up the room and I would celebrate. I would literally, again, kind of crazy. I'm an extremist sometimes. But if, again, I was desperate and I couldn't get pregnant, why not? This is worth a try, right? So get rid of one room in my house, whatever room it may be. If it's my office, if it's, I don't know, whatever, leisure room, I don't know. I'm going to have to buy a bigger house to make a new room for the baby. If this is something I really want, this is exactly what I would do. I would even buy the bigger house to make space for the baby. I would set up the nursery. I would definitely sit in there and really feel like what it feels like to be a mother. How would I feel when I'm holding the baby? How do I feel if I have to wake up in the middle of the night? Even the negative emotions, but all the positive emotions that we can feel of when we are holding our baby, this is what's going to attract us for getting pregnant. Now, the next thing I would do is I would definitely even do some sort of a celebration. So we want to believe as much as we can that the baby's coming or the baby is born. So I would do some sort of a celebration of how I would feel of when I know the baby is coming. So you can be as crazy as actually throwing a baby shower. Again, crazy out of the box if you were to think about it. But this is how you can do everything in your power to use the law of attraction towards you. And like I said, you can combine this with your medical provider or anything else that you're trying, or you can even just try this and then see how it goes and then do other more, invasive procedures. So there was another question that Rhonda was asked. It said, so how do I be more patient when I'm manifesting or when I'm trying to visualize? Now, her answer to that was, if you actually believe it and you know it's happening, which is what you're supposed to do with the law of attraction or with manifesting, you shouldn't need patience. You really should believe that this thing is going to happen. Now, we don't have to know exactly when or how. That's kind of like the weird secret part of it. But we have to believe that this is going to happen. And you have to believe it more versus not believing it. And I know this could be really hard to do, but for those of us who really want to be mothers, we definitely can find like this hope of believing that, hey, I'm meant to be a mother. I believe I'm a mother, right? So if you can get to that place where you believe you're a mother, that's your first step, okay, to be able to manifest it. But if you have a lot of doubt, a lot of fear, and you don't believe that this is going to happen for you, that's your first roadblock. So that's when affirmations come in. Okay, so sometimes our brain and our bodies feel like we need to be tricked in order to believe something. So if you believe that you're not meant to be a mother, or you won't make a good mother, or anything that is not believing as far as that, this also could be what's blocking you from getting pregnant or becoming a mother. So this is where you can do affirmations, like stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm going to be a great mother. Not gonna be, sorry, you have to do it in present form. So I am a great mother. I am pregnant. Like everything to the present, or I love this baby. Anything that you can really like say to feel and believe that you are already a mother. And that's how the affirmations are going to make you believe more that this is going to happen for you. And then once you actually believe it, then you don't really need the patience. You don't have to wait and be like, oh, when is it going to happen? Then you really have to kind of leave it and surrender and know that it's coming. Know that it's happening, or that it's already yours. Actually, that's the language she uses, that you have to know that you're already a mother. And if you can really believe that, that's when you're going to be attracting or using the law of attraction properly in order to get pregnant. So another huge part of attracting and visualizing is being grateful. So you have to have those grateful feelings. So the gratitude is what I keep hearing and I seeing and like researching and reading about, of how important it is to attract what we want. So you have to feel that gratitude of how happy, how thankful, and how amazing everything feels when you have the baby. Okay, so we are not only feeling those great feelings, we're also being grateful for it. So I'm grateful to hold this baby, and you're doing it in present form as much as you can to say your gratitude towards it. So this is how you're going to be able to again attract getting pregnant. So again, to summarize, we're visualizing and we're feeling the feelings of the end result, the outcome, the actually holding the baby, hearing the baby's voice, feeling the baby against us. We're not visualizing just getting pregnant. So another secret with the law of attraction is you want to feel it as if it has already happened. So in this case, I really want to feel like I'm a mother. So what can I do in order for me to feel like I'm a mother? So anything I can do that I can think of to feel like a mother, this is what I'm going to be doing. So we already talked about setting up the nursery. I would literally like go shopping for the baby clothes. I would buy the breast pump. I would literally do everything like I'm already a mother. And I wouldn't think about that holding me back. I wouldn't think about, oh, how sad will it be if I could never be pregnant? No, I'm only going to visualize how amazing it's going to feel, how fun it's going to be in order for when I'm a mother. I will take time off of work, be on leave, be as crazy as you want to be. Okay, well, I don't know about being on like actual medical leave when you're a mother, but you get the point. Like you really want to do all the things that a mother would do. Okay, so here is where I'll share my story with you guys. And this really, I really think this is what happened. I think I used the law of attraction for my benefit and everything turned out fine. But my story was the first time I was pregnant, it was my first pregnancy, and around 20 weeks, which is like close to, I think, 5 months pregnant, I had an emergency procedure because I went to see my doctor as a regular checkup. Everything was going great. I think like everything's fine. And then at one of the checkups, she says that I'm already like pretty much like in labor or going in labor, and my cervix has like shortened so much where I could deliver this baby like any second, which means like I'm going to be losing the baby, or it's going to be like a late miscarriage. Obviously, that freaked me out. We had already started preparing for the baby. The room was like halfway set, the nursery was halfway set up. Like you were excited. We started buying things. We've already told people because we passed that like scary first trimester part. And that's what the doctor tells me. And now I had to make a decision. And the chances of the baby actually like making it and surviving without even having a lot of health issues was very, very low. Like less than 20% chance at that point. This is if the baby even made it, right? Because it was so early on. So devastated, crying, traumatized. Like I can't even explain. Like we were just crying and so sad. My husband, he was like, I'm gonna go burn that nursery. I'm gonna burn this house down, because we even had bought the house because we knew we were pregnant. Before that, we actually had just gotten back from being on the road with the RV. So we were gonna just kind of live in the RV for a little bit and figure it out. We were newlyweds. But we bought the house for that reason. Anyway, so he's like, I'm gonna burn the house down. Like, I don't need this. Forget it. Like, he was just very, very like torn and lost, and getting such a low percentage of chance of everything being okay from a medical doctor was very devastating, because that's what we go off of. We go off of chance. Now, if somebody says you have a 1% chance of having the baby, like imagine, like that's like, okay, like I'm not stupid. Let me just give up. But something in me said, no, like this baby's meant to be in this world. Like it's gonna happen. Like I'm gonna be a mother. Like we're not losing this baby. Let's go ahead and do the emergency like procedure and take our chances. Because our other option was to pretty much like abort the baby at that point. It was still young enough where that was the decision. But I said, nope, I'm not giving up on it. I'm going to do everything I can. And the first thing I did, of course, after crying so much and like being in shock and traumatized, being rushed to the hospital to do this procedure, mind you, like during the procedure, like from being scanned and checked at my doctor's office to going to the hospital right before the procedure, I'm already like fully numbed down under like half of my body from waist down. I'm fully like deep, like it's like a spinal epidural, so it's like a stronger epidural than when you actually give birth. The doctor comes to me and she basically tells me, oh, my chances are even lower now. Like, are you sure you want to go ahead with the procedure, or you want to basically do an abortion? I was like, oh my God, like you can't tell me this now. Like, how am I supposed to make this decision? Like, and I'm alone. It's COVID. Nobody could be with me in the hospital. So super scary. Not even my husband. Like, he was actually in the waiting area though for this part. But even after, for recovery, they didn't let him stay. Anyways, horrible. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to use every tool that I have to make this happen. Okay. The law of attraction has worked for me in the past in other situations. I'm going to try it with this one. So literally when I got home, my vision boards, everything that had so many like ambitious goals on there with business and life and material things, everything got off my vision board. And the only picture like I put up there was like a cartoon picture of a mom, a dad, and a baby. And I was like, this is what I'm going to visualize. This is going to be me. This is going to be my family. This baby's going to be here. And I literally did everything I just told you guys that I would do if I can't get pregnant. And I didn't really even realize like that I was fully doing this until later when I look back from, given my chances. And thank God, everything turned out fine. I told my husband, you are not touching the nursery. We're actually continuing. We're continuing to finish setting up the house like everything's going to be fine, because it is going to be fine. it's going to be great. I will do everything in my power. So if I actually had to be on bed rest for the rest of the pregnancy, which was really difficult. But every day I celebrated. I literally put one like Roman numeral mark of counting the days of how I would get close to at least a safe zone with the pregnancy, to have less health issues if the baby was to be born so early. Literally scariest thing to go through, very emotional. I can't even imagine for parents who lose a baby or like throughout the process when things actually fully go wrong, because just even the thought of it was horrible. But thank God, and I think the help of like all these things that I'm talking about, everything turned out okay for me, and I'm so grateful for that. But one big thing was every day I celebrated with that one mark. Okay, we made it one more day. Yay, I'm so happy. I'm so grateful for a day closer, instead of focusing on, oh my God, the baby could be born, like the negative and all the things that could go wrong. Instead, you celebrate everything and all the good feelings of when the baby would actually be here. Here's another crazy thought of what I would do again in order to celebrate the birth of my baby before it even has happened, to again use the law of attraction for me. I would literally do like a party or even do announcements of the baby, that the baby's born, welcome to the world, get the whole outfit, like literally just do a movie, right? Just act and be present as if it has already happened. So celebrate, have all the positive feelings of it already has happening. Super simple in concept, sounds super crazy to actually try to do and like put on this whole show. But if you give it a chance and you actually believe it and do all these crazy things, I really think it would work for you. So to conclude, you want to act and feel as if you already have it. This is the secret of manifesting, of the law of attraction. So go ahead, be crazy and set up your nursery. Feel like a mother, buy those maternity clothes, whatever it needs to be for you to feel and be ecstatic about being a mother. And hopefully you would attract it. Well, I hope this video helps you guys, or those of you that will get something from it. Make sure to share, like, subscribe, send it to another crazy mother-to-be. Until next time. Thank you for listening. Please rate and review this podcast. Follow and engage with us on social media under the Yegi Project. And if you're interested in being a guest, email info@theyegiproject.com. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes.